Hello everybody, today is 27th of August. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. But before that, let's have a look on today's GS folder. So today we'll take a statement from the writings of the great Rabindranath Tagore, Gurudev. So Rabindranath Tagore has written extensively onto the nationalism, and he writes that neither the colorless vagueness of cosmopolitanism nor the fierce self-idolatry of nation worship is the goal of human history. Now friends, this particular statement is very relevant into the present trend. You will find that on one hand there is a trend which propagate that boundaryless globalization will bring the respite to the humanity, whereas on to the other hand countries are going into the self-preservation. They are going against globalization. A kind of a nation first ideology is coming. And in this particular direction, India had also taken a particular stand, that is the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, self-reliance. But Rabindranath Tagore provides that both of the extremes are not desirable, because globalization will lead to the erasement of the entire cultural ideologies, identities, whereas on to the other hand, inward looking complete self-reliance will not allow us to share a cosmopolitan bond of fraternity with each others. And when the nationalism will rise up to a big extent, then it will invite its own problem. If you know, World War I and World War II were the results of the intense nationalism only. So nor into the extremes are required. So friends, that's it. You can utilize this particular quote onto the essays as well as on questions of GS paper number 1, where the globalization into the present context has been asked. So friends, that's it. And now let's take the newspaper analysis in detail.
Now friends, first of all, let's take the overview of the entire newspaper first. Now here we can see that the Supreme Court is pulling the center onto the loan moratorium. So guys, here with respect to the fiscal stimulus, we'll see very important concepts. Then guys, moving forward here, the opposition parties are saying that they will move to the Supreme Court for the postponement of the JEE NEET examination. Now guys, a large number of states are dissatisfied with the center's policy. However, the political inclinations you need not to see for your exam. Then moving forward. Now, city news not important for our exam. Then here we can see that the e-beat book system has been mentioned. So guys, with respect to the modernization of police forces, we can use it as a reference. We'll see this thing. Then moving forward, here we can see that the e-Sanjeevani mission has been mentioned. So with that particular respect, the concept of the telemedicine will be seen. Then guys, moving forward, here you can see that the Supreme Court has been urged to establish an 11 judge bench for the quota cap. So in that particular respect, we'll see the background and what things are going up. Then guys, we are into the editorial section. Now today's editorial are very generalistic into the sense. Now this particular article talks about the new education policy. However, already I had made a full-fledged video on this particular thing, and in past 5-6 days large number of articles onto the education we had already seen. So guys, much new substance has not been given into this particular article. Then this particular article talks about the allegations of terrorism which Pakistan and India are going into. Guys, however, with respect to the examination, the academic contents are largely missing here. Then this particular article talks about the agricultural reforms and how the implementation is more important than the reforms. We'll be seeing this particular thing. Then guys, this article talks about the RBI's annual report. Already yesterday I had seen this thing in extensively. Then this article talks about the space outer space treaties. Very good article. We'll see what are the issues which have been given. Then moving forward, here we can see that the tiger dance of Onam has been mentioned. So with respect to exam, we'll see the important concepts. Then the concept of Janta Parliament, we'll see that how it will help in promoting the participatory democracy. Then guys, moving forward, here you can see that the draft policy on the health data is now open for the feedback. So if you remember, on 16th of August, 15th of August, Prime Minister mentioned about the National Health Mission, Digital Mission, and we had seen that now a kind of a digital database will be made which will be having all the information regarding the patients. So only onto that thing the feedback has been asked. However, as it will come into force, we'll see what is happening. Then the showcase page not important for our exam. Now guys, world page, again the regional news, the news with respect to the US elections are going on. Then onto the economy page, we can see that the antitrust issue has been mentioned. So we'll see that what are they and what are its implications. Then on sports page, nothing important for our exam. So that's it. And now let's take the newspaper analysis in detail.
Now, taking up the first news, so here you can see that the Supreme Court has pulled the center onto the moratorium scheme. Now guys, before going into this particular news item, we will see a wider and a bigger concept which could be directly utilized into your answers. Now guys, you all know that as lockdown started, large number of economic miseries were unleashed onto the people. And whenever these kind of economic miseries comes, be it the 2008-2009 global crisis, be it 1929 economic depression, governments around the world, they go for a fiscal stimulus. Now, what is this fiscal stimulus? Government actually work on two ends. On one end, there are certain changes which are made into the monetary policy, whereas on to the other hand, some changes are made into the fiscal policy. Now, monetary policy is the domain of the Reserve Bank of India primarily, though it has been now decentralized, but primarily it is of RBI. On the other hand, the fiscal policy is the domain of the government. So what is done here? During these economic crises, the Reserve Bank of India or the central bank, they relax the NPA norms so that the banks or so that enterprises who have taken the loan, they don't go under the large number of stress, as well as the bank's balance sheets are also not, they don't turn into a bad shape. After that, they also take a series of reforms to reduce the benchmark repo rate so that the credit availability becomes cheaper. Then they also prescribes certain priority sector lending norms. Okay, priority sector lending norms, what happens? Many a times it is said that you please specifically give more loan to the MSMEs, specifically give more loan to this particular section of society, to new businesses, to new venture, etc. Usually also there are the priority sector lending norms which are there, but during these times even more focus is given to them. On to the other hand, what government does? It typically decreases the taxes so that the disposable income of people can increase, and at the same time it increases the expenditure so that the money might go into the hand of the public. Now, the purpose of both these policies is to pump more money into the economic ecosystem, and when such money will go, what will happen? The aggregate demand will increase, and because of more aggregate demand, what will happen? The kind of economic problem will be solved. To meet that demand, the manufacturers will increase their manufacturing base, they will hire more people, they will give them the salaries. When the people will receive new salaries, they will even expand the aggregate demand, and the problem will be solved. Now guys, what happens? There is a concept of money multiplier. Money multiplier means that during such kind of times, many times government takes certain steps, and the aim is that for even 1 rupee which government is spending, much more benefits should come. For example, if a money multiplier is 1.5 or if a money multiplier is 2, it means for every 1 rupee spent, 1.5 rupee worth of benefit will come, 2 rupee worth of benefit will come. So what happens during the time of crisis? Seeing the money multiplier, if it is very good, you can do relatively less of investment. If it is not that much good, you have to do more investments. Is it clear? So if a money multiplier is 1, government might spend 5 lakh crore rupees, and 5 lakh crore rupees benefit will be coming. So you have to make some kind of investment during the time of crisis. Going with the same kind of thing, what happened? We'll see that the USA started or implemented the CARE Act, under which $2.2 trillion of economic stimulus was given to the economy, so that by money multiplier, impacts again come back to the economy, and economy as a whole can kickstart. And into this particular CARE package, if I tell you, the transfer payments, direct payments up to rupees $1,200 were also promised. These payments are translated to nearly 89,000 rupees. And now if we talk about India, what happened? We started with the Atmanirbhar Bharat economic package, where 20 lakh crore rupees were promised. But into this particular package, there were certain problems. Problem number 1, actually large number of ongoing schemes were packed into the Atmanirbhar. Secondly, large number of structural reforms were given under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, which will not be bringing any relief right now. And if we see the actual cost of the Atmanirbhar Bharat, then it has been pledged between 1.5 lakh crore to 3.7 lakh crore. Barclays pledged it at 1.5, whereas ENY pledged it at just 3.07 lakh. So fiscal stimulus which has been given by India is very less, and India's money multiplier ratio is also very less. So actually the benefits into the economy will not be coming if government keeps on into this particular path. Moreover, into such kind of situation, you need to enhance the money into the hands of the people. And if we see under the Atmanirbhar Bharat, only 500 rupees via Jan Dhan Yojana or the Jan Dhan accounts are being given. Now compare it to 89,000 which US is giving. So into these kind of crises, you need to put more money into the hands of the public. Now coming to the present news. So what has happened? Supreme Court is hitting onto the center with respect to the moratorium scheme. RBI came, said that you don't need to pay your installments, all the people who have taken the loan from the bank. Now, just thing was that suppose for 3 months the moratorium was given, but during these 3 months the interest payment which have not been paid, on them also the new interest have accrued. So now it has been, no clarification has been there that whether that new interest has to be paid or not. So in this particular direction, Supreme Court is saying that already your fiscal stimulus has not been that very good, and even onto the moratorium scheme also you are not giving any benefit to the people. You are just hiding behind the Reserve Bank of India and saying that RBI has taken all these kind of call. So it has been said that moratorium was given, it was good, but the interest for that particular period should also be waived off. Why? Because it will provide a kind of a fiscal stimulus, because when people don't need to give that interest, that money they will spend into the consumption activities. So guys, this is the concept. I tried to explain a very bigger and wider implication. I hope you have understood it. So that's it. Now we'll move to next. Now guys, here we can see that Delhi police is getting smarter with e-beat book system. Now in our GS paper number 2, there is a topic of the police reforms. So there could be a probable question onto this particular line. A high expectation is there. See, whenever the question on police reform comes, only there could be majorly 2 dimensions. One, there could be the need of the structural reforms. Second is the need or to modernize our police force. Now, when we talk about the structural reforms into the police, there are certain commissions, certain reports which have talked about these structural reforms. For example, there was a National Police Commission, then there was the Rebero Committee, Malimat Committee, Supreme Court's directives into the Prakash Singh case, and the second ARC of 2007. So all these reports are there which talks about the structural police reforms. The most important here is the 7 directives given by the Supreme Court into the Prakash Singh case, where it has said that a state security commission should be established for the state. Then there should be a fixed tenure for DGPs, fixed tenure for the SHOs, separate investigation and law and order function should be there with the police. Then police establishment board should be there. Police complaint authorities should be there so that grievances of people against police can be heard. Then there should be the National Security Commission at the center level. I will not be going right now into details of this particular thing, because then we will be deviated from this particular news. So this is on one hand. Whereas on another hand, there is also need to modernize our police force. And this particular news we can use as a reference if the modernization of police is asked. By the way, in 2014, Prime Minister unveiled his vision of the smart police. And by smart police, he meant a police which is strict and sensitive, modern and mobile, alert and accountable, reliable and responsive, techno-savvy and trained. Is it clear? So these are the components of the smart police. Now Delhi police, taking up the e-beat book system, is moving into this smart policing, and you can write as a reference. Now guys, what is this e-beat book system? Now there are police beats into the localities. Okay, if some criminal is found or if some offender is caught, what right now police has to do, they will take the person to the police station and will manually check all the records. Is it clear? But by this e-bead book system, into the e-books or into the tablets, all these records will be synchronized, and these e-bead books will also be having the facial recognition software, so that the moment a person is nabbed by facial recognition, all his records can be retrieved, and this particular thing will be saving a large number of time. Moreover, guys, there are large number of cases with respect to the stolen vehicles which are coming, and if even a car or if a stolen vehicle is passing by a police officer, he can't simply tell whether it is a stolen or not. So by this particular e-bead book system, into the real time, he can check any car number and can find out whether it was stolen, and all other such kind of possibilities are also there. If any crime happens at a particular scene, geo-mapped location will be provided here, and by these geo-mapped locations, into swift time, the police can reach into a seek or into a crime location. So such kind of reforms will be coming, and it will make our police towards more techno-savvy direction. Is it clear? So this as a reference we can use about into the questions of modernization of police forces. So that's it. Now we'll move to the next news. Now guys, this particular news can be used as an excellent example into the questions of the health, GS paper number 2. So we had seen that right now the present crisis, it has posed huge health implications for the people. People are not able to get the quality health care. And our fundamental right under article number 21 has promised about the good health care. What is the alternative? Alternative has been suggested many times, that telemedicine. Okay, because telemedicine first of all will provide the quality health care. Secondly, social distancing can be maintained. Thirdly, people don't need to go to a dispensary. Is it clear? Fourthly, it will also be very cheap. Fine. Now in this particular direction, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare had already came out with the Sanjeevani mission, e-Sanjeevani mission. This e-Sanjeevani mission is a kind of a telemedicine portal which is already going on. It has been developed by the Center for Development of Advanced Computing, which is a research and development organization under the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So under this e-Sanjeevani, doctor to doctor communication portal is there, and doctor to patient OPD platform is also there. It was going under the Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan. If you know, under the Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan, two things are there. 5 lakh rupees tertiary and secondary care will be provided, worth 5 lakh rupees of. After that, 1.5 lakh wellness centers will also be made. Apart from that, also the telemedicine is also being promoted under the Ayushman Bharat Abhiyan, and through these wellness centers, the doctor will be providing virtual medicine facility also. Now what has happened? CGHS, that is the Central Government Health Scheme, which is run by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, they have also enrolled under the e-Sanjeevani mission. So all the beneficiaries of the CGHS, they can also get the telemedicine. Now guys, right now there are more than 71 lakh people who are enrolled under the CGHS. So these large people will be coming under the domain of telemedicine. By the way, CGHS, it is a scheme by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare which provides the medical benefits to the people who are the central government employees or the people who are the pensioners under the CGHS. Is it clear? So if a question onto the telemedicine comes, you can give the e-Sanjeevani's example and how it is being expanded. Now even the CGHS has also included under this particular thing. Is it clear? So very good initiative which has been taken. That's it. Now we'll move to next. Now, taking up the next news, it pertains to the reservations or the affirmative actions which will be utilized into the GS paper number 2. Fine, constitutional rights. Now, what has happened into this particular news? Before talking that, I will give you certain background. See, what happened? You might have read into your polity that the other backward classes or the backward classes have been given reservation after the Mandal Commission submitted its report in 1979. According to Mandal Commission, it was said that there is a distinct class of backward people who should be given some protection. However, Mandal Commission's reservation advice was accepted in 1990 when 27% reservation were given to the backward classes. This is the reservation journey for the backward people. After that, what happened? In 1992, there was a Supreme Court judgment into the Indira Sahani case. And in this particular case, Supreme Court said this thing, that you are providing reservation to the OBC people to the tune of 27%, fine. But in no year, reservations more than 50% should be provided. Maximum reservation line should be 50%. Fine. This particular thing happened, and that particular thing was ruled by a 9-judge bench. The things went. And now what we are seeing? Now we are seeing that this 50% limit is being breached. For example, 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act was passed. And by this particular Amendment Act, 10% extra reservation was given to the general category candidates. And by 103rd Constitutional Amendment Act, Article 15, Subclause 6 and 16, Subclause 6 was added. They breached it. Then what happened? Just in 2018, socially educated and backward classes, fine, Socially and Educated Backward Classes Act 2018 was passed, by which Maharashtra government also said that we will provide 16% extra reservation to the Marathas. This particular thing was challenged into the Supreme Court. They said that they are breaching the 50% rule. Matter went to the Bombay High Court, and Bombay High Court said that they can give the reservation but not 16%, 12% and 13%. 12% for employment, 13% for education. Then again the people were not happy. The matter was taken to the Supreme Court. And right now this particular news pertains to the Supreme Court, where it has been raised as a matter that anyhow all the states are breaching this 50% rule. Nearly 20% states are there which are right now giving the reservations more than 50%. And not only 28 states, the center has also breached this 50% rule. So a kind of a suggestion is made that why we don't consider this altogether 50% limit which was laid into the Indira Sahani case. And a request has been made that an 11-judge bench should be created, and it should reconsider that whether this 50% rule is valid right now or not, because 30 years have been passed, more than 30 years have been passed since 1992, not 30, nearly 30 years have been passed. So it is high time that we should reconsider our reservation policy. Now you can have arguments against the reservation, in favor of reservation. Is it clear or not? So that is also a separate thing which could be talked about here into this particular direction. However, right now we'll not go into that particular dimension, otherwise the present topic will be stretched too much. So here a suggestion has been made to constitute a 11-judge bench. So that's it. And now we'll move to the next. Now friends, we are into the editorial section, and this particular editorial talks about the agricultural market reforms which are needed. Now, first of all, this particular thing can be utilized in GS paper number 3, agricultural reforms, and GS paper number 2, that is the design and evaluation of the government schemes. See, what has happened? Government is talking a lot about reforming the agriculture sector. Why? Because nearly 56% people are dependent onto the agriculture. Just a few days back, government brought ordinances, farm ordinances. By the ordinance, it amended the Essential Commodities Act 1955, by which now the price controls over some commodities will not be there into the normal times. Clear? There could be the price will be decided by the demand and supply. Then contract farming was allowed, and market restrictions onto the movement of agricultural produce, they were also waived. Now the article says that these are the good reforms which has taken, but we don't need new reforms. Rather, we need the implementation of the reforms which had already announced. And here two examples have been given. It has been said that in 2016, government came out with the e-NAM, that is National Agricultural Market, where it was said that a portal will be made, and by the help of that particular portal, farmer can sell their produce anywhere into the country where they get the good price. But what happened? And into the first phase, 585 markets, 16 state and 2 union territories joined. But to actually make it implementable, states also needed to amend their APMC Act, that is the Agricultural Produce Market Committees Act, which limits a restriction onto the farmer that he can sell his product only into a mandi of where he is living. So this particular act was to be amended, but till now neither majority of states have amended their APMC Act, nor more markets have been included into this particular thing. Is it clear? So e-Naam project started, but benefits didn't, but the steps were not taken, and benefits such as the single license, single point levy of market fees, e-auctioning, these things didn't came to the farmer, and such benefits were, they went back. After that, one more example has been given. In 2018, government came with the PM Asha. Now, under this PM Asha, three reforms were promised. Reform number one was the price support, which was promised. Under this price support, it was said that government will be procuring the pulses and the oil seeds. Okay, but large number of other crops are also there which needs the government procuring. They also are not protected with the price vagaries, but those things were not taken into this particular thing. Other component into this particular scheme was the price deficiency payment system. It was said that the farmers, we will release a kind of an MSP price, will release the base price. If farmer get price below this, the farmer can sell the produce, and a kind of a gap between this we will compensate to the farmers. Okay. Third component under the PM Asha was the pilot of private procurement and stockist scheme. Under this particular thing, it was said that the private people will also be able to procure the food grains from the farmers. So three components were there. Government will procure, deficient price will be given to the farmers if they get a less than the MSP price. Third, private will also procure. But these three components have not been able to be implemented. Number one, I told you that the limitation in terms of coverage. Secondly, the price deficiency payment system was only it was a pilot project, a trial project only taken into the Madhya Pradesh. And thirdly, the private procurement has not even started. So these two are the ambitious projects of the government with respect to agriculture, but actual work onto the ground was not taken care of. Now guys, just if we talk about the present times, then what happened? Government came with the new schemes such as the PM Kisan was announced, and now the farm ordinances have been announced, which I had already talked. Into the PM Kisan, government says that 6,000 rupees to the farmer will be given per year so that their farm income can be supplemented. Till now, the PM Kisan is doing good. And the farm ordinances which has been announced, it has been said that they are also good, but they should not turn as the earlier e-Naam as well as PM Asha turned. So therefore, we need to make the implementation good. Moreover guys, not only these two things, but in 2017 and 18, government also came with the number of model acts which can be implemented by the state, but nothing happened here. So right now, implementation needs to be focused on. And in this particular direction, three reforms have been suggested. First of all, it has been said that government should focus on solving the federal issues. What are the federal issues? When we talk about the seamless movement, the goods or the agriculture produce will be moving from one state to another state. There are the barriers in between. Those barriers needs to be broken. And for that thing, state and state as well as center and state should come together and have a dialogue. Then it has been said that whatever model agricultural acts have been announced earlier by the central government, for example in 2017 and 18, even Niti Aayog came with a model act, those acts should be implemented as early as possible. Central government should provide the assistance to the state. Then it has been said that right now what happens, farmers they are not able to get the better credit in order to go for the sowing and all these kind of things. So it needs to be done very fast that the institutional credit or credit opportunities should be given to the farmers. Moreover, there is also one new trend which is coming into the agriculture, that large number of farmers are abandoning their fields. They are not, now they don't want to practice the agriculture. Large number of lands are lying vacant. So those land parcels should be given to those farmers or to those people who will productively be utilizing it. So into that particular direction, the land leasing should also be focused. Clear? And the new ordinances which has been announced, for their implementation also the assistance should be provided. So guys, that's all which has been talked into this particular article. A very good article, talks about the future as well as past. So that's it, and now we'll talk the next. Now, this particular article talks about the space explorations which are right now going on and is very important for our GS paper number 3, Science and Tech. Now friends, it has been said that the space as a frontier has always aroused the imagination of all the people. And particularly 1960s and 70s were the golden era for the space exploration. And such fascination for the space has been kind of ignited by the Russia, which kind of gave an initiation by the launch of their Sputnik mission, and by USA after their Apollo mission was launched. Now guys, even into the present time, if we talk about today, as this crisis was going on, 4 space exploration missions have already taken place. For example, UAE launched their Hope mission for the Mars. USA launched their Perseverance rover. Clear? The China launched their Taiwan, and Tianwen. SpaceX had taken a commercial flight to the space. So already such kind of things are going on. Fine. And even right now, if we talk about the space, the cost of reaching the space has also came substantially down. Fine. The kind of a comparison has been given. By into the last 1 decade, by the factor of 20, the space cost has been reduced. If we talk about the SpaceX journey to the lower Earth orbit, it was said that per kg cost was just $2,720. And into coming 10 years, this cost will be reduced to just 100 kg. Just a few years, just a decades back, the NASA used to took the same thing at 54,000 plus dollars. So you can see that how the cost is coming down. So it says that into the coming times, even the space exploration will enhance even more further. According to the Bank of America's report, it has been said that right now the $350 billion space market is there, and it will increase to $2.7 trillion by 2050. And this particular thing, it can even be supplemented by the facts. If I tell you, the SpaceX is working onto the Starlink project, where 10,000 satellites will be launched by the SpaceX in order to provide the better internet connectivity. At the same time, Amazon's Kuiper mission is also going on, where Amazon also will be launching 3,000 microsatellites. Clear? And it has been said that into the coming decade, more than 80,000 satellites will be there into the space. Are you getting? So space will becoming more democratized, will be more crowded, fine, and will be giving more services to the humanity. All these things are good, but a question comes that whether the ecosystem, the legislative framework is ready for that particular thing, whether it is ready or not. So in that particular direction, certain challenges have been pointed out. First challenge is that, see, right now the space policies have become redundant. There is Outer Space Treaty of 1967, which says that the space should not belong to the sovereignty of one country or two countries or few countries. Rather, space should be used for the welfare of the entire mankind. Fine. Then there is Moon Treaty of 1979. This particular treaty has not been ratified by all. Then till now there is no dispute settlement mechanism. What if into the space some collision occurs, some accident occurs? Into this particular thing, there is no kind of treaty. Moreover, the Outer Space Treaty which I had talked, it has become redundant into the present times because a large number of other frameworks has also came which had expanded the scope of the outer space treaty, and the clarity is not there. Is it clear? So first problem is that the treaties are redundant. Second thing is that what happened earlier, whenever the treaties came, it was thought that the state, the space is a domain for the state, for the government. The non-state actors were not thought that they will be having any role, but now the non-state actors have huge role. For example, I just gave you an example that the SpaceX took a commercial flight to the space. Moreover, into India also, ISRO is also inviting a large number of private parties into the space exploration. So for their part, nothing has been mentioned. And if we talk, then the USA had just even passed an executive order in 2020 where they had said that they will be utilizing or will be groping up the private sector for the resource recovery from the space. Now, what is this resource recovery? I'll give you one example. See, there is an extraterrestrial body 16 Psyche. Okay, and this extraterrestrial body, it has so much of a heavy metal that it has been said that their value, matlab, it is beyond trillions. Clear? And in that particular capacity, the USA will involve the private sector. Now, first of all, this particular point has two problems. Number one, not only USA will want those heavy metals, other countries will also want it. Number two, if you remember, I just told you that there is an outer space treaty which says that the space is for everybody. How USA can pass such kind of legislation and how it can allow the private party. So such kind of things have needed to be settled. Then the third problem is that when the space will become important, and as it is becoming important, what will happen? Space arms race will also start. Countries out of hostility will try to neutralize other countries' capabilities. They will develop the weapons and the weaponization of space will also happen. Space will turn as an arena of conflict. The satellites which are there for the commercial purposes, from them the data can be utilized for the military purposes. For that particular thing, till now there has been nothing regime. The United Nations General Assembly has taken a resolution, and there they have said that the resolution of prevention of arms race in outer space has been taken, but their demilitarization has not been talked. Disarmament has not been talked. So there are large number of challenges which are there. And now guys, coming to the India specific point, as India is also putting huge stakes. For example, we had planned the Gaganyaan mission, which will be the which we are saying that will be a manned mission. Moreover, now if you remember, with the coming of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, we had liberalized the space sector, and even in space organization has been made by which ISRO will be inviting the private stakeholders into the space exploration. And even in India, there is no space legislation. Fine. So it is being said that India should take efforts to make a space legislation domestically also, and should involve into with the other countries so that space stay an arena of mutual prosperity. Clear? So this is particular into this particular direction, and a high probability chance is there that in GS paper number 3 such kind of thing could be asked. Fine. Why? Particularly, I will give you one reason also. 2020 is a year when the Mars is coming, basically it is coming to most closest to the Earth. And because of this particular thing, countries such as the USA, the UAE, the China will be taking into the 2020 the Mars flights. Clear? So for that particular thing, this particular year space is particularly more important. So that's all about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, talking about this particular article, so this article is with respect to the Onam celebrations. Find some prelims specific and art and culture specific items has been given here. Now see what happens with the Onam. Onam is by the way, harvest festival celebrated in Kerala. Pulikali dance is practiced. Now Pulikali, it is a tiger dance, or many times it is also called as the leopard dance, where the performers, they dress elaborately into the kind of they take a makeup which resembles just like the tiger or the leopard, and very passionately they perform the dance. Now this particular year, due to the social distancing norms, such a kind of thing will not be possible into the streets. So into the news it has been said that through online or virtual mechanism such kind of performance will be made. So the importance with respect to the prelims: first of all, Pulikuli is a tiger dance. Secondly, celebrated in Kerala. Thirdly, celebrated during the time of Onam. Then guys, into this particular celebration, certain instruments are also used. That is the uduku and the thakil. Fine. So please keep it into your mind. So they are just a kind of musical instruments. So it is an example of folk art which is being practiced into the Kerala. So these are some specific factual news. So that's it. Now we'll move to the next. Now guys, this particular news can be used as a reference into the answers of the GS paper number 2. What has happened? Now actually opposition is playing a good role. So the opposition parties, the certain left parties, certain non-BJP parties, they have made an alliance and had made Janta Parliament. Into this Janta Parliament, the civil societies have been enrobed, and it has been said that the opposition as well as civil societies should form some common minimum agenda. That is certain things which they will be keeping in front of the government and will be asking questions from the government. Even certain agendas have been finalized by the help of the CSOs. That is, the universalization of PDS will be kept in front of government as a demand. Then right to healthcare will be asked, universal basic income, etc. These things will be asked. Fine. So this is the constructive role of opposition for which opposition was originally meant, and this is a good example of the parliamentary development. Then guys, this can also be an example of the participative democracy, which is a kind of a matured stage of the democracies. So a very good thing particular into this particular dimension. So that's it. As a reference, you can utilize it. Now we'll move to the next article. Now friends, this particular news pertains to the issue of antitrust for which a complaint has been filed against the Amazon. Now before going into the news, what is this entire phenomena? Now guys, there are antitrust legislations which prohibit anti-competitive kind of practices. So it is believed that a competition is good because if there will be competition, consumers will have more choice. Even the manufacturer or the service provider will try to innovate, will try to provide the better service. The post selling experience will also be good for the consumer. Fine. Now into our country, there is the Competition Commission of India which makes sure that the healthy competition is made, and in that particular direction Competition Act of 2002 has also been there. It prohibits such kind of monopoly making behavior. Now what has happened? It has been said that Amazon is trying to favor some selected sellers onto its platform. For example, there is a seller that is Cloudtail. And it has been said that these sellers, as they are giving a big discount, into mean course of time, small sellers or small vendors, they will be demolished. And into mean course of time, only few sellers will be staying onto the Amazon. And this particular thing is reducing the competition. Therefore, antitrust charges have been slapped onto the Amazon and a petition has been made to the Competition Commission of India. More than 2000 sellers are going into this particular direction. Now friends, see, not only with respect to the Amazon, but this particular tendency is becoming a big problem for all the countries. If you'll see, particularly with the onset of technologies, there are just a handful of operators into the specific sectors, and it is not good for the consumer welfare. Is it clear? So this particular thing is very important. So guys, that's it. I hope you have understood it. And now we'll move to the question section.
Friends, please pause the video and try to answer the question. So question number 1 is with respect to the air quality. Please read the statement and identify the incorrect code. Now friends, question number 2 is with respect to the National Clean Air Program. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Question number 3 is with respect to the Khadi and Village Industries Commission. Please read the statement and identify the incorrect code. Now, the fourth question talks about the transgender person. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Now the main question, it says that agriculture sector needs dire implementation of reforms rather than just a spree of new reforms. Discuss in the light of relevant examples. So guys, this question pertains to GS paper number 3 and it is a 10 marker question. Please try to provide some new dimensions on this particular aspect. So that's it. I hope you have liked the discussion. Thank you so much.